My guardian went to 4 CVS stores in Boston to get me COVID antigen test kits. The other stores either ran out of stock or sold them at $40 per test. There are many sequelae of COVID-19. Loss of smell, muscle pain, and even erectile dysfunction, but none of them are as evil as price gouging. Hi, I'm Katie. Welcome to We Are Irrational. Today we're focusing on the price gouging of critical supplies, one of the worst consumer problems during the pandemic. It's hard to find out now, but according to the US Public Research Interest Group, 4 packs of hand sanitizers once costed $160 on Amazon. Can you imagine that? A Walmart employee earning a minimum wage of $12 per hour had to work for at least 3 hours to afford a hand sanitizer to protect themselves and their loved ones. The National Conference of State Legislature defines price gouging as the following. Price gouging refers to when retailers and others take advantage of spikes in demand by changing exorbitant prices of necessities, often after natural disasters or other state of emergency. During the 2021 Henan flooding, for example, 14.5 million people were displaced. When they looked for shelters, they were shocked to find out that a hotel room that used to cost $50 per night now costs $450. It's a 9-fold increase. While Chinese netizens were criticizing how immoral the hotels were, if you take a look at the demand-supply model, you'll immediately see rationality in price gouging. So let's use antigen test kits as an example and have a look at the model. This is a graph of test kit supply and demand under normal economic development. The market equilibrium price and quantity are P** and Q** respectively. Now, with COVID cases hitting new records in the US once in a while, the demand soared, so the demand curve shifts to the right. If the market price remains the same, there will be a shortage of supply, which is exactly what's happening right now in many CVS stores. Therefore, raising prices will meet the new market equilibrium with higher price yet fewer quantity demanded, as poor Americans cannot afford $40 test kits. In theory, price gouging reallocates resources to those who can afford them and avoid debt weight loss. Actually, price gouging is supported by neoclassical economists such as Milton Friedman, who said in the interview,
"The gougers deserve a medal."
There is the best way to do that, and that's a good thing.
But are we really at equilibrium right now? If you look at the demand-supply model again, you'll see that there are limits for short-term supply, and factories cannot produce millions of test kits overnight. Otherwise, why are we using this 99% unreliable but 100% disgusting COVID test? Anyways, what I want to say is we might have deviated from the market equilibrium with fewer quantity supplied but inflated prices. Unlike what Friedman and other neoclassical economists have suggested, we reallocated the resources badly. Also, the fact that someone simply can't afford the antigen test kits doesn't mean that they don't value those goods. The most vulnerable to COVID-19 might not be the elder, but the poor who can afford vaccination or even an antigen test. COVID-19 is not a natural selection or the survival of the fittest. When we're trying to apply social Darwinism, it only justifies structural biases and existing inequality. Who should be defining the fittest? Why does the rich become the rich and the poor become the poor in the very beginning? Price gouging left the poor out of conversation and prioritized individual interest to social welfare. While price gouging is rational in theory, warm hearts should be the best weapons against the cold economics. It's time for us to all be irrational.